Now, I don't think it will surprise anyone to find out that we have the 1980s to thank for this cocktail. Its story is about as romantic as its name. Apparently, a bartender called Ted Pizio was taking part in a competition to sell as much peach schnapps as possible. He was working at Confetti's bar in Florida and felt that the two main reasons that most people came to that part of the world were sex and the beach. So you can see what he did there. However, there has been some doubt cast on this, as there was actually apparently a recipe printed in a bartender's guide even earlier in the 80s. Either way, the drink is really just a combination of I don't even want to say it, but a fuzzy navel, which is peach schnapps and orange juice, and a Cape Codder, which is vodka and cranberry. This comes from an era of drinks where pretty much every possible highball was given a name. So you've got a screwdriver for vodka and orange, or a hairy navel for a vodka, peach schnapps and orange. For anyone who wants a deep dive on the family tree of these drinks, I recommend an article on the Punch Drinks website called How Did the Blowjob Shot Happen? Although I would suggest that maybe why did the blowjob shot happen may have been more pertinent. I would also suggest that those who gave poor Steve the bartender a hard time for not including Chambord in his Sex on the Beach video should read it. That was a spin-off and not included in the original drink. Anyway, whether these straightforward drinks actually count as cocktails is debatable. I would argue no, although that's not to say that a properly tart greyhound is not delicious. But the drinks that built on them, such as our very own Sex on the Beach, are really what cemented cocktails back in the public consciousness. Well, them and Tom Cruise, of course. We can't always take ourselves too seriously, and made well, this drink is fruity, fun, and frivolous. So let's get stuck in. As you may know already, we're launching a new bartending course in collaboration with International Open Academy, today in fact, and it will be massively discounted for the next 10 days. So if you want to up your bar game, then follow the link in the description below as soon as possible. If you're tuning in after the 10 days is up though, don't worry, the link in the description will still give you the best deal currently on offer. Schnapps covers a wide spectrum of fruit brandies, liqueurs and infusions, but unfortunately the ones commonly available are often entirely synthetic and really sugary. To avoid that really artificial taste, I'm using my very best favourite Marionette peach liqueur, which uses real Aussie peaches. If you can find something local to you that's similar, then awesome. Otherwise, I'd suggest a good quality creme de pêche like Massenet's Cartron or Giffard, or even making a peach syrup instead and just upping the vodka, or even infusing the vodka with peaches. So many options. I do prefer fresh orange juice. Freshly squeezed is ideal, but definitely not long life if you can help it. Again, that's where that kind of artificial, almost plasticky taste in the drink can come from, although maybe that is what you're looking for a little bit of 80s nostalgia. And because obviously fresh squeeze can vary in sweetness and acidity, I will quite often add a little bit of lemon juice if it needs it. As for shaking, some people just build, some people shake. There doesn't really seem to be a definitive answer either way. Some people do like shaking the cranberry separately from the orange juice and then layering. So you've got like the red kind of representing the sex and the orange representing the beach. That sounds like a lot of work to me, and I actually really like the kind of pinky peach color that you get from shaking it all together. So that's what we're gonna do. So first of all, we're gonna get our garnish ready. So just skewer a little cocktail cherry. We are visiting the 80s after all. Have that ready. Then we're gonna go 40 mils of vodka. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, but I'll always advocate using a good quality one where you can. 20 mils of peach schnapps or liqueur. I did tell my friend who makes this that I was using it for Sex on the Beach, and he said this is his favorite cocktail. So this one's for you, Nick. 45 mils of cranberry juice. Now this is just kind of your standard cranberry juice that you can find in the shops. As sort of unsweetened as you can find is better. And 45 mils of fresh squeezed orange juice. Now you can with this one give it a little taste at this point and just see if it's going to need any lemon juice. You should be able to tell if it's going to be overly sweet. It's actually not too bad, but I'll probably just pop in a little 5 ml just to sharpen it up a little bit. Fill your tin with ice, pop it together and shake as hard as you can until it's all frosty. Now, when you are serving something over ice that doesn't have like a particularly creamy texture or anything, you don't really need to fine strain because the little chips don't really matter. With this one I am though, just because it is the fresh orange juice, so as you don't get any bits that could get stuck in your straw. Such a pretty color. And then we'll just pop in our garnish and you're good to go. Sex on the beach. I guess now you know. It is just such a pretty color. I mean, pink drinks always taste better. Not maybe as good as blue drinks, but still better. Honestly, I probably wouldn't even know there was booze in here. Like, it's fruity and fun. With that little kind of bitterness from the cranberry juice and that small squeeze of lemon, it's actually really nicely balanced. And obviously having like proper sort of fresh peach flavor in there. It's really delicious. I can't honestly say that this is nostalgia because I think this is definitely better than any of the ones that I drank back in the day, but I would happily drink this on a summer's afternoon.